The Goodman in Paris by a citizen of Paris. This is a horrible book. Oh, my word. Fully half the book is all about a woman's obedience. First to God and his commandments, and showing herself repentant regardless, and keep herself, unnoticed, small, inconspicuous. Hide yourself away. Be humble, meek, and so forth. And then be obedient to your husband, no matter what he tells you to do, no matter what you think, no matter your experience, your skills, your talents, obey. And then he gives the example, because he always gives examples, of Griselda. Now, this husband who she married, he felt the need to test his wife's obedience. So after her daughter was weaned, he took her daughter away from her. Well, actually, he had one of his sergeants take the daughter, saying, "Your husband has commanded me." And so she gives up the daughter, thinking that her husband is going to kill the daughter. And yet she had sworn that she belongs to him, and her children belong to him. And because of her credo of obedience, she must do whatever he asks. So she must continue to be bright and cheerful and amiable and buxom and, fuck him silly and all the rest of this stuff, and have a care of him and all the other good things that a good wife does, even though he just murdered her daughter. And then he did the same thing to their son, or so she thinks, because he was merely testing his wife. So instead of actually killing his own children, thank goodness, he sent them off to his sister to be raised privily, with no one knowing who they are, or who he is, or anything about them. So just throw the kids out and test the woman. See if his wife is still amiable and buxom and fucking silly and all the rest of this good little girl stuff. And so she proves to be. She goes, "Fine. I swore to obey. Damn it, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to meet all his requirements and just be a happy little brain-dead clam." Okay? Fine. Not content with letting her think he's murdered her kids, he goes off to the Pope and gets permission to toss her aside and get another wife. So he kicks her out. She leaves everything he gave her, the fine clothes, the jewelry, the wealth, leaves it all behind, except for a smock to cover her nakedness, because this is a womb that held your kids. And then she goes home to Daddy. Back to the ragged hovel that she came from in the first place. Because she swore obedience. She doesn't permit her father to say anything bad about the fellow. No, no, no. I'm merely obeying like a good wife. So then he announces he's going to marry this other woman. And he calls his sister, says, bring the kids back. And he leaves everyone to believe that the daughter is who he's going to marry. Really? Really? You could actually say that with a straight face? That you're going to marry and fuck your daughter and have kids with her instead of your bona fide wife that you swore before God you would marry? Really? And here she thinks you're a murderer. Forsworn before God and a murderer. And still she obeys. So then, not content, he drags her back to the castle and says, order the feast. You're the only one who knows how to do that. So she sets everything in train and gets the feast all ready to go. And he says, I want you to stay. Greet the bride-to-be. Make her welcome, etc. and so forth. And so she does, in her rags. Graciously, still obedient, still amiable, still yes, 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 sir. And it's not until the absolute end that he tells her this is your son and daughter. And then she faints dead away. And then she continues being honorable and good and bad. This is an example. Excuse me? But yes, this is how it once was. Me? I would have slapped that man silly. I would have despised him to his face. I would have waited till the son of a bitch fell asleep and beat the crap out of him. And cut his balls off. Because I was a weak, filthy, contemptuous man. How dare you behave that way? What a dick. What a jerk. What a total, flipping, foul, blood-boltered, stupid beast. We would be divorced forthwith. And I'd take half of everything. At least half. I get the assets, you can have the debts. Bastard. Kill my kids, would you? I don't think so. Anyway. The rest of the book is about gardening. Now you have to understand, this is a 61-year-old man who married a 15-year-old girl who totally unlearned in anything. You know? Write everything down if you can. Really. I am really happy I didn't move then. I'll tell you that. Do not read this book unless you really need your blood boiling. This is ridiculous. Anyway. Thank you for watching. And please come again.